Alright the devils, biggest shit here.
The final class video is upon us. The journey has been long, it has been arduous, but we have made it together. Countless hours of reading aloud the Epoch website, all for this very moment. Today, the Big Mus channel will conclude its epic coverage of Project Epoch's class changes, and it ends with the Hunter class. Hunters are a very famous double Warcraft class, notorious for its player base occupying both the high echelons of gaming prowess or the bottom dredges of retardation. So whether you're a godlike Legolas XD gamer with generational gaming prowess or a huntard, you won't want to miss this video. The Hunter class is better than ever on Project Epoch, with improvements to ammo capacity, new pet families to tame, 3.35 auto attack swapping between melee and ranged auto attacking depending on your distance from the target, reworked aspect of the pack, Wrath of the Lich King Disengage, and much, much more. For all you short viewers watching, click the related video, but for the rest of you, sit back, relax, and put the binky back in your mouth, as this is the final binky baby bedtime story we'll be hearing in a while for class videos. It's time for Hunter on Project Epoch. So as I've aptly put in the intro, there are quite a few changes, but not as many as other classes. It's looking like, well, how the go? So we'll start out, yes, with ammo adjustments. So in Burning Crusade, hunters use significantly more ammo during combat thanks to the addition of Steady Shot. Here on Epoch we have this ability, but because players are limited to level 60, this meant that you can hold less ammo as quivers and ammo bags are smaller. To help alleviate this issue, all ammo now stacks to 250 up from 200, and all quivers and ammo bags now hold 2 more stacks of items than before. In addition, all sources of ammo were increased to 250 up from 200. That means when you purchase arrows from a vendor or craft bullets as an engineer, you'll create 50 more than before. I mean, just a nice quality of life change for hunters. Ammo is something that, you know, before I started playing vanilla, I remember missing ammo, and then when I started playing vanilla WoW, running out of ammo just pisses me off and it's annoying, but it's nice to see that they've upped it from 250, and that's mainly to compensate for Steady Shot. I guess ammo is still part of the class fantasy for vanilla. It's kind of LARP making your ammo, so I get it. It's just nice that they've made it so you get 50 more ammo when you buy or craft it, and it's like higher stack, better bags. Nice change. More pet families. Hunters are well known for their abilities to tame a large variety of beasts around Azeroth, and we've expanded that here with new pets to discover. Some existing pet families have received new, unique creatures such as birds of prey named owls in vanilla. Okay, so yeah, there's expanded birds of prey past just owls, and owls are probably considered birds of prey now. Yeah, so now it includes eagles as well. In addition, there are some new pet families on Epoch: foxes, wasps, moths, and serpents. If you're the type of person that likes collecting pets, then this is going to be fun for you. And not only that, but if you watched the rare spawn video I made, there are rare creatures with unique abilities and attributes that are tameable by hunters. So if you're one of those autismo Pokemon pet hunter gamers, then Epoch's going to be a better experience for you than original vanilla WoW was. Pet adjustments. Pets in general have been reverted to their Burning Crusade state, just like the classes themselves. However, they have undergone additional changes afterwards. Many pet families have new abilities. For example, crabs can now pin an enemy in place for a short duration using a channeled ability. Pets now also utilize the Wrath of the Lich King pet talent tree in your talent menu. The talents located in this tree mimic the effects you could get from beast training in Burning Crusade. Yeah, the beast training thing was a little bit strange. I think the Wrath system was better. Hunter players, I guess it's up to you to determine what you think of that. I've never really given a shit about pets too much. I like Hunter, but I just haven't given a shit about like the talent tree or the customization. So I guess it's up to the Hunter players to determine whether this is a good or bad change. But it is a change that has happened. Melee attack or range. So yeah, thanks to using the 3.35 client, hunters will automatically swap between melee or range attacks based on the distance to their target. This means you can also right-click an enemy to begin auto-shot. And yeah, as a reminder, in Burning Crusade, the infamous dead zone was removed, and therefore it does not exist on Project Epoch. So yeah, you could dead zone hunters in a certain range where they could neither melee you or shoot you with their weapon. If you were a skilled frost mage or even a rogue with the slowing poison, you were able to expertly dead zone the huntard. So that has been removed, and now you don't need to have auto shot on your bar and press the button to toggle it, because when you right click, if you're at range, you'll start shooting them automatically with auto shot. So just a little quality of life there. And then of course raid-wide effects and further optimization and rework. So we'll move on to the spellbook. So we see aspect of the Viper, aspect of the Wild, kill command, and aspect of the pack have all been updated. So aspect of the pack is one of the bigger changes. This is giving hunters some raid utility. It's kind of like Stampeding Roar from later versions of WoW that the druids have, and it does not function like aspect of the cheetah. So in standard TBC and vanilla, aspect of the pack is basically like a party-wide aspect of the cheetah. Everyone just gets 30% movement speed, and if they get struck, they get dazed. But on Project Epoch, aspect of the pack is a 5-minute cooldown. The hunter and group members within 25 yards takes on the aspect of a pack of cheetahs, that increasing movement speed by 40%. So yeah, everyone in the raid and group, I don't know, I guess it's probably raid. It says group, but I'm assuming it's the whole raid within 25 yards will get a 40% movement speed buff. So if the whole raid, let's say you're stacked and you all need to reposition, you just you yell, hit aspect of the pack, man, and then he pops in and everyone moves and you move to the new location and continue your DPS uptime. So good change. I always like Stampeding Roar in retail, and it's cool that they've implemented it for the hunter class to allow them to have a bit more raid utility. Okay, so for aspect of the Viper, it is the TBC version, so there is no damage penalty. In later versions, aspect of the Viper regenerates your mana but gives you a reduced amount of damage. But this is the Burning Crusade version of aspect of the Viper, so you will not be getting damage reduction when you're sitting on Viper. Aspect of the Wild. Instead of just being group based like it was in TBC, it's raid based, and the whole raid gets 60 nature resistance. So this will be nice for AQ. Having a aspect of the Wild on in the Hydros fight in TBC is something that you would have to stuff a stinky hunter into the tank group, and now you don't have to. So when they add Hydros to this, you just have one hunter in the raid with Wild on and everyone gets 60 nature res. That's a lot of resistance. It's kind of crazy. And then finally, kill command. For kill command, I have pulled up the TBC version. Let's take a look. So, gives the command to kill, causing your pet to instantly attack for 108 damage. Can only be used after the hunter gets a crit. 5-second cooldown. So it's the same spell, just with a little bit of a damage nerf to compensate for it being vanilla WoW. And you get it, what level do you get this? 56. So yeah, instead of 66, 56. Kill command, everyone loves it from TBC. So next up we have Steady Shot. So in Project Epoch, Steady Shot causes base weapon damage plus 58, and in TBC it's base weapon damage plus ranged attack power plus 150, and it causes an additional 175 against dazed targets. So that's a big nerf. Like 150 base damage with a 0.2 attack power modifier. I wonder what the attack power modifier is on Project Epoch, but it's 58 down from 150, so that's quite a large change. Available at level 52, you're really steady shotting as a hunter regardless because it's a really OP spell. And that's it for marksmanship. That's not very many changes. Oh, and hunter's mark. So I've got the level 4, so I've got the rank 4 TBC hunter's mark up, and we're comparing it to the vanilla rank 4 hunter's mark. So places a hunter's mark on the target, increasing the range attack power of all attackers against that target by 110 and by an additional 6 each time they are struck by a ranged attack. Obviously, it's just been tuned down a bit to compensate once again for not being TBC, it being vanilla. So it's the damage number is nerfed. Instead of 11 each time, it's 6, but it still has that effect of stacking up extra damage on the target. And then survival. So snake trap, it's the same as a TBC version. Obviously, it'll be tuned for vanilla, and it's just the fact that hunters have access to snake trap in vanilla, even though it is TBC classes. I hate when they have I don't know, that irritates me. I don't like the updated, like, yeah, it's TBC classes. I don't understand how that's an update. There's others, like, it's just inconsistent on the website, but that's okay. Next up, disengage. Okay, and for disengage, the vanilla and TBC version of disengage is just a boring threat drop, which you can already feign, and you can like insta feign death, stand up, and it drops all your threats. So like, I don't know why they thought they would need this stupid ability, but thankfully Project Epoch realized that, and they've added the Wrath of the Lich King disengage. So if you're a pro gamer, you can jump off the ledge if it's like a circular arena, move over a mechanic just like Jimmy Green the Warlock.
Knockback.
Oh god, we're
Bar
so
is
fucked.
safe.
No, we're not.
Yep.
Ooh, fucking. and you can launch yourself back onto the platform with precise gaming skill, flying backwards. So it's the launch one, and it reduces your threat still anyways. Oh wait, must be grounded. Oh, that's boring as fuck. Like, why can't you jump disengage? Must be grounded. That's lame. I'm sorry. That's like, get rid of that must be grounded shit. Like, who cares if it, what do you mean must be grounded? And then of course, misdirection. So threat caused by your next three attacks is redirected to the target raid member. Yep, same as TBC. Misdirect. Hunters, make sure you stick with your assigned tank and just rip a big aim shot, blast into the mob, and yeah, give him some threat. Help him out. Help a brother out. So moving on, talents. Okay, so the changes here are rather limited, I must admit. As we see, there's absolutely no changes to the survival tree, but survival already had its place in TBC, and I think it will have its place in Epoch as well. I hope this isn't outdated, because this is the most recent thing I found regarding it. But either way, so the first updated talent is Ferocious Inspiration, and before I get into it, I will say it makes sense that Hunter is one of the least updated classes for Project Epoch because TBC Hunter already performed very well. It was very fleshed out and it didn't really need any help. So maybe they could have done something creative with survival being an auto weaving spec, but they decided not to go with the melee hunter route, and they've decided to keep it as entirely a ranged physical DPS class. So Ferocious Inspiration. If you see here, when your pet scores a critical hit, all party members have all damage increased by 3%. With Project Epoch, it's all party and raid members. So that 3% damage for an entire raid of 25 is massive. So I'm wondering how that'll end up panning out. But yeah, that's a big buff for hunters. It'll be a nice, you'll definitely want a Beast Mastery Hunter in your raid specifically for Ferocious Inspiration. Next up, Serpent's Swiftness has been updated from the TBC version. In TBC, you get increased ranged combat attack speed by 20% and your pet's melee attack speed by 20%. In Project Epoch, increase ranged combat attack speed by 20% and your pet's melee attack speed by only 10%. So your pet is only receiving half as much melee attack speed, and that is okay because Beast Mastery is already OP as hell, and the pet is kind of just like a brain dead. Actually, I wouldn't say it's brain dead. In PvP, it's a little bit brain dead. You can just hit send pet on some squishies. And with Bestial Wrath and the Beast Within up, the pet is immune to being CC'd in a lot of scenarios. So it kind of just sits there and mauls someone to death. So a little bit of tuning down on the attack speed is nice. And a good hunter in a raid knows how to micro their pet correctly so it doesn't die. But this will take a little bit of the damage away from the pet and center it more on the actual hunter themselves doing the correct rotation. So overall, I think it's a deserved nerf. Moving on to marksmanship. So for TBC, True Shot is on the 7th row and it's only party members. But on Project Epoch, now to get True Shot aura, you're going to have to commit to the marksman tree entirely, and it's all party and raid members getting the attack power bonus. Yeah, you'll have to full commit to marksman, so it almost seems like you'll want eventually a hunter of each spec. You want survival for the exposed weakness talent, especially once your agility levels start getting high. This exposed weakness debuff that you can place on a boss really helps your raid deal more damage. But you'll also want True Shot aura, and you'll want Ferocious Inspiration. So you get 3 raid buffs. Each hunter tree has its unique raid buff, so it'll be interesting to see. And I think 3 hunters is also a nice amount because some fights require 2 tanks, but some fights require 3 tanks, and with 3 hunters really help with misdirections. It really helps generate that initial threat for hunters. So hunter players, I think you guys are in a good state. You ate a little bit of a nerf here, but overall the class seems unchanged, and the utility being raid wide really helps out. So cool to see. Wondering how the raid comp's gonna end up being. I'm predicting 3 hunters per raid, but I could be wrong. Maybe you won't need a survival hunter until a couple raid tiers when the agility levels start getting high enough to justify exposed weakness. But initially, something like a flat 50 attack power is stronger in the early game and at the beginning of an expansion, because flat is better than percentage early on, but as the agility numbers climb, this percentage bonus from exposed weakness, which this is a normal TBC talent, by the way, this isn't anything exclusive to Epoch, but later on, maybe in tier 2, tier 3, you'll definitely want an exposed weakness hunter. So cool to see. Wonder if the marksman will just respec to this, or if you, like I said, you have 1-1-1. But either way, thanks for watching the video. Hunter players, let me know what you think. Peace.